Hello, I'm Dr. Ana Nogales. I am in this beautiful city of Tokyo, the capital of Japan, a very, very modern city, very modern country, I would say. It's incredible to see how in a few decades they were able to build such a wonderful country. And this has a lot to do with domestic violence. We know that probably the rate of domestic violence is about 20%, but we're not really sure because people do not really report domestic violence as much. I understand that most of the domestic violence in this country is about emotional abuse, verbal abuse, but not that much about physical abuse or sexual abuse. That's my understanding, according to interviews that I have been doing. But it has to do also because the government has a very good system about domestic violence and about everything. Crime is very low. You can leave whatever, your purse, your luggage, your car open. You can leave whatever open. Nobody will take it away from you because there's so much respect. And in this regard, it's very important to know from what I learned that respect is so important because this is what is the essence of every human being. If you lose respect for somebody else, the loss is yours. So people condemn people that are not acting honestly with dignity. People are very focused in being honest, in being respectful with each other, no matter what, no matter how, no matter who. And this is a very important issue in regards to domestic violence because someone that doesn't behave well is stigmatized, is left aside, is not worthy of society. They leave them alone. So nobody wants that in a very in a society that's so much embedded into being honest, into being worth it, a worth member of society. Japan has recognized domestic violence as a significant social issue, especially in the last 25 years, expanding protections, including restraining orders, emergency shelters, counseling services, and a broader recognition of psychological abuse and dating violence. Police intervention and public awareness campaigns have increased over the years. Government surveys continue to show that domestic violence affects both men and women, although women are disproportionately victims of severe physical and sexual violence. Reporting rates remain lower than in some Western countries due to the stigma, shame, privacy concerns, and cultural reluctance to disclose family matters publicly. Culture makes a difference in domestic violence issues. In the past, in Japan, for a man to be violent meant that he had the authority and was entitled to express it with physical expressions, not necessarily considered anger, but a way to show what was not acceptable. No explanations given. Family members were supposed to understand what was wrong and stop doing it to avoid negative consequences. I was told this was in the past, but it's still happening more in rural areas. That's the way of grandparents, I was told. The way then parents were, it was to be more verbal, but only what is correct and what is not, and not to disclose emotions, as that is a private matter. Adult children today can express emotions, but they lack role models, so they feel easily overwhelmed. They might cry more easily and feel ashamed. Females and males have a hard time interacting. Women feel shy, and men do not know what or how to relate to women. Of course, this is a generality and not the norm for everyone. Understanding the issue and helping men become familiar with social and emotional interaction has become an area of growing attention in Japan. Some men attend structured social meetings or community activities intended to improve comfort with communication and interpersonal connections. And women may also participate in social activities to reduce anxiety around interactions with the opposite sex. Some individuals attend international social events or gatherings with foreigners because they feel less intimidated socially than with other Japanese individuals. These dynamics should not be confused with prostitution or exploitation, but rather reflect social discomfort, isolation, and difficulties with emotional expressions and intimacy. This translates into domestic violence in a very different manner than one commonly understood in Western societies, as individuals may not feel comfortable discussing emotions openly. They may suppress feelings or act them out behaviorally. Domestic violence in Japan may involve control, coercion, emotional withdrawal, criticism, or pressure to conform to traditional expectations. In some cases, women may express frustration when the husband is not providing financially or not fulfilling expected social roles, resulting in verbal or emotional conflict within the relationship. These patterns can be bidirectional and complex. Younger generations in Japan increasingly delay marriage or choose not to marry. Economic pressures, changing gender expectations, emotional discomfort with intimacy, and social anxiety contribute to declining marriage and birth rates. Some individuals may become more open to marriage later in life, particularly when considered parenthood or long-term companionship. However, many young women, many young adults report uncertainty regarding traditional marital expectations and gender roles. It is important to emphasize that these observations are broad cultural generalizations and do not apply universally to all Japanese individuals or families. Japan is a highly diverse society with substantial regional, generational, educational, and social economic differences. Many Japanese men and women reject traditional gender norms, maintain healthy relationships, and openly oppose domestic violence. And here I'm ready to leave. This is the end. I'm leaving Japan tomorrow back home, and I have had a wonderful time here in Japan. And I've learned a lot about human nature and how kind people can be when we have the willingness, the interest to do this. Respect for each other, loving each other. Thank you, Japan.